Hi, welcome to chapter 2.1 Meaning and Scope of Supply. In this chapter, we will see section 7 definition of supply, meaning and scope of supply, forms of supply, meaning of consideration, as well as what is the meaning of in the course or furtherance of business. See, before implementation of GST, there was central excise duty which was levied on manufacture. There was service tax which was levied on provision of service. There was VAT or central sales tax which was levied on sale of goods. All these terms, manufacture, provision of services, or sale of goods, was replaced by a word, supply. So supply of goods or services will be leviable to GST as per section 7 of CGST Act. And in IGST Act, it is section 20 of the Act, that is IGST Act. Okay, so section 7 and section 20 of CGST Act and IGST Act is very important. You can read these sections, section 7 subsection 1, section 7 subsection 1a, section 7 subsection 2, section 7 subsection 3. Let us go and learn all these sections. Section 7 subsection 1 explains what is a supply. First, we need to learn what is goods and what is services. Section 2 subsection 52 of the CGST Act defines goods as it means every kind of movable property other than money and securities, but includes actionable claims, growing crops, grass and things attached to or forming part of the land which are agreed to be severed before supply or under a contract of supply. So that is the meaning of or definition of goods as per the CGST Act. Let us look at the term goods as per this image. So goods include movable property and it excludes money and securities. Money is not treated as goods, as well as securities like shares, etc. It is not treated as securities. But actionable claim, it is treated as goods. It can be treated as goods. As well as growing crops, grass and things which are attached to or forming part of the land. What is actionable claim? It is you can claim any share in the profit of the firm, any unsecured debt, or if you are claiming for any insurance, life insurance, etc. And it can be arrears of rent. All these are examples of actionable claims. Then let us go to the section 2 subsection 1 or 2 services. It means everything or anything other than goods, money and securities, but includes activities relating to the use of money or its conversion by cash or by any other mode from one form, currency or denomination, to another form, currency or denomination, for which a separate consideration is charged. Okay, explanation is given. For the removal of doubts, it is hereby clarified that the expression services includes facilitating or arranging transactions in securities. That is as per the section 2 subsection 1 or 2 of the Act. So if not goods, okay, first you want to check whether it is coming under the definition of goods. If it is not coming, then it will be services. Okay, then actionable claim is can be treated as services. And conversion of money, like foreign exchange, changing from rupee to dollar, dollar to pound, whatever it may be, for a consideration, foreign exchange, it is also treated as a service. Okay, so that is the definitions for goods and services. Then let us see, there can be various forms of supply. Forms of supply can be sale, transfer, barter, exchange, license, rental, lease, disposal. I have given various examples here. Okay, so it can be any form. Then, see, another thing you want to note down is to become a supplier as per the CGST Act or GST Act, it should be done for a consideration and it should be done for a business. Means should be in the course or furtherance of business. So these are essential conditions. Any supply of goods or services, it can be in any form, then it should be for a consideration and it should be in the course or furtherance of business. So that is a definition of supply subject to GST. But if you take consideration, there is a schedule 1 which is explaining supply without consideration as per section 7 subsection 1c. There can be some transactions which is like a permanent disposal of assets without consideration. It will be treated as a supply, and that is given under section 7 subsection 1c. So there can be exemption for the criteria that consideration should be there for a supply. Then see, there is a second important point. It should be done in the course or furtherance of business. But if you take importation of services for consideration, whether or not in the course of furtherance of business, as per section 7 subsection 1b, it is an exception to the rule that it should be done in the course or furtherance of business. So in brief, you can note down that consideration and in the course or furtherance of businesses, it is very important factors that should be there for treating it as a supply liable to GST. But there can be exceptions as per 7 sub 1c for consideration and as per section 7(1)(b) for in the course or furtherance of business. So I have given the definition of consideration as per section 2 subsection 31 and as well as section 2 subsection 17 for business. You can read it. What does it mean? Okay. So the important points we will cover anyway. See, consideration can be in money or kind, and it covers which might be possibly done, given or made in exchange for something else. Then consideration need not always flow from the recipient. It can be from a third person also. Say if you are supplying to Suresh, Suresh can tell another person, Anand, so that Anand can give amount to you. Okay, it is also a consideration. Then it excludes subsidies given by government. So if you are getting any subsidies from government, that should be deducted. Only on the balance amount GST will be charged. Then refundable deposit is not a consideration. So these points are regarding the consideration. And see, coming to the in the course or furtherance of business, it can include any trade, commerce, manufacture, profession or vocation. Then it can be undertaken for a monetary benefit or otherwise. It is not necessary that it should be taken only for money. It is not necessary. Without money also it can be taken place. Then frequency, volume or continuity or regularity of transaction is not a precondition, prerequisite. Okay, there can be isolated transactions which will be considered as a business. Then central government or state government or any local authority in which they are engaged as public authority shall also be considered as business. So it is applicable to government also. Okay, unless it is otherwise exempted by a notification. Then business includes vocation. Okay, sale of goods or services as a vocation is also a supply under GST. Okay, say any artist, any musician. Okay, they are called as persons who are undertaken any occasion. Okay, then services provided by club or association to its members for consideration is also a supply. Okay, so all these points you can take care in the case of course or furtherance of business. Then let us take some case studies. Let me read it very fast. Mr. Ravi purchased a car for personal use and after a year sells it to a car dealer. Will the transaction be a supply in terms of GST law? Okay. So no, because supply is not made by the individual in the course or furtherance of business, because the factor that it should be done in the course or furtherance of business, it is not met here. Further, no input tax credit was admissible on such car at the time of its acquisition, as it was meant for non-business use only. there is no continuity also. So we need to consider whether it is in the course of business, whether there is a input tax credit claim, whether there is a continuation of transactions. So in this case, it is not a supply of goods. Then the next one is Miss Ambali sold her old jewelry. Okay, bangles and earrings to Malabar Gold and Diamonds. Sale of old gold jewelry by an individual to jewelry will not constitute a supply, because it cannot be said that Miss Ambali sold the same in the course of furtherance of business. Okay, then the third transaction, Miss Ambali, a famous handicrafter, makes some handicraft items and sells them. The consideration from such sale is to be donated to a charitable trust. That is Stitch Group. The sale of such handicraft goods qualifies as supply. See here, she is a handicrafter. Okay, and she makes money, but she donates it. See, it doesn't matter what she do with the consideration, with the amount. So in this case, it is a occasion and it is liable to GST. Then the next thing, Federal Residence Welfare Association, okay, provides for services of depositing the telephone bills of the residents in lieu of some nominal charges. Provision of facilities by a club, association, society or such body to its members shall be treated as supply, and this is included in the term business. See, even the residential association, like residence associations, will be liable to GST. Then the next thing is, it is for a family tour. Miss Ambali and family went for a family tour and paid admission fee for circus, cinema, amusement park, etc. These will be considered as availing services, because admission of persons to any premise for a consultation will be supplied. So when they are going for family tour, they are liable to pay GST unless it is exempted. Okay, so these are the various transactions that you can take as examples of supply of goods or supply of services. So in this chapter, we have seen concept of supply that replaced the terms manufacture, provision of service, sale of goods, etc. There are various sections, subsections as per section 7. Then we have seen what is goods, what is services, what it excludes. Then form of supply. Okay. Then two essential conditions, one is consideration, another is business. It should be done for a consideration, it should be done in the course of furtherance of business. But for consideration, there is an exemption which is given in schedule 1. And for business, exemption is importation of services for consideration, whether or not in the course of furtherance of business. So if you are importing any services and you are paying it consideration, whether it is for business or whether it is for personal purposes, and it is applicable only to taxable persons, okay, not for everybody. So in that cases, it is treated as supply of goods or services. Then we had also seen various case studies. Hope it is clear. Thank you.